Hey everybody, Sebastian Maniak here, and I just want to make a quick video uh, on Agent Gateway because we just released version 1.5.0. The community just released it, and just a big shout out. I think we had 66 contributors to version 1.5.0, 29 first timers, 285 commits. We're almost at 50 million Docker pulls, which is super exciting. And just a big thanks to the community. If you want to join the community, definitely check out agentgateway.dev. Hit up our Discord where there's a lot of great conversations happening. But in this quick video, let's dive in into a quick little lab on one of the features that version 1.5 comes with. So if you take a look at the release notes, there's tons of new features added. One of the one that kind of stands out for me and for a lot of customers is cost and budgeting, right? So now we have API key scope budgets and model access. So now you can assign um, rolling tokens or dollar budget amounts for individual API keys. So instead of storing an OpenAI or a frontier model API key, you can give the developer a generated API key from Agent Gateway, and you could apply budgets and token spend on it. Right, a budget can be blocked for on request. We could also leave it at audit for any overage just to see what's happening. We can view all this in the UI and inside of the logs. API keys can also restrict which models the caller is authorized to use, right? So there's a lot of cool new features. And the demo for you to be able to deploy this very quickly is in the show notes or in the description below itself. So check it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open up my terminal and I'm going to set this up. So pretty cool, easy setup that we have. We're just going to run setup inside of our Docker file or inside of our folder, and this will spin up Agent Gateway itself. So here is the Agent Gateway UI. Let me just minimize this folder, and we've deployed two different models. In here we have GPT 5.5 and 4.4. We've created a bunch of virtual API keys just for testing. And if you log into them, or if you even click on the edit or the create button in the UI, you're going to be able to see, hey, here's the name of the key. Here's the budget, right? We can see that right now we have a 0%. I haven't sent any actual requests towards it, but we can configure the budget based on token spend or amount spend. We can set blocking. We can do audit only so we could see the logs of what people are sending and then analyze that furthermore. Not just people, but your agent itself. We have model access so we can restrict which model names can be used by this key itself. And then, of course, we could add specific metadata that is required for most of these, like any of this security or authentication or whatever requests you have inside of um, your platform or your team. We have our costs in here, so we have the base model costs and specific model costs that I added in here for myself, and we have our analytics and logs. So in version 1.5, we also enhanced the logs a lot more. And really, let's see this play out. So inside this repo, we will have a test um, script. And all this is a curl. I'm just simulating requests towards Agent Gateway so we can kind of see logs and analytics inside the platform. So let me just click on the refresh button. So now we can see we made one request, API failure, right? Because there was no model, unknown model. We requested itself. Now we're making other calls through ChatGPT. I'm using 5.5 in here. Um, we can see the cost. We can see the input and output tokens in here. Eventually, what will happen is we're actually going to hit a limit on some of our requests in this payload. So as you can see, the actual lab is still turning along here. So we got, all right, another, budget exceeded. We can actually click on these. logs, and we can see the duration, token used, the cost, the requests. If we go further, we can actually even enable prompt logging. So include prompt and complete logging costs, completion of logs inside in here. So you can do this all with this quick demo setup that I have for you deployed. Um, so let me just minimize this terminal here. And let's go to analytics. We'll just hit the 1 hour mode so we can kind of see it. Here we see a bunch of requests that were sent through all my curl requests to the actual provider or the LLM gateway. We can see we did about 2,000 tokens. We can take a look at the cost of how much this cost. We can understand all the different users that were used, the specific models that were deployed. And of course, there's a massive model between GPT 5.5 and 4.1 nano. And then in the logs, right, we see, hey, explain token-based rate limiting was configured. Now that we've actually enabled prompt logging in here, we see more data. We kind of see the trajectory, the duration of every request. So you can analyze this. You can actually view the entire conversation and the cost and spend inside the platform itself. So there are other amazing features. If you look at the release notes, of course, I just mentioned better LLM log views, native Gemini API and broader format conversations, guardrails for tool calling and OpenAI inline moderation, dynamic forwarding of TCP and policy backend URLs, Spiffy ID identities and backend authentication, route and rate limiting and policy enhancements, observability and operations itself. So definitely take a look at all the release notes. Take a look at my demo code that I have. It's super easy to run. It will deploy Agent Gateway inside of a Docker with the latest version for you to play around with. And a big thanks to all the contributors that have contributed all the code to version 1.5.0. And definitely join Discord, join the conversations we're having on what the next iterations of milestones that we're going to be developing with Agent Gateway itself. So with that, hope you like this video. We're going to have a bit more to come out of all the other features that were added in version 1.5. So thank you for watching, and make sure you hit that like button.